Have you ever wondered what kind of progress women are making in advancing other women in the workplace? Well, joining us to discuss this issue from Paris, I'm joined by Marie Sebueng. She's an organisational development expert and the CEO of IAMS Power Consulting. Thanks very much for joining us. Just tell us a little bit about what your observations are around how women have progressed in the workplace in corporate South Africa ever since the dispensation of the new South Africa.
Yeah. Hi, Nompumelelo. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a great question in terms of the progress of women, and I want to take a global approach on that. I think there certainly has been great progress globally. If we look at some of the data that came out of the World Trade Organizations, if we look at some of our colleagues in Africa, countries like Rwanda, and other countries like New Zealand, there certainly has been progress, and in South Africa. However, a lot more can be done because if we just percolate just on the numbers, it's only 11.8% of women that are represented in executive positions. So certainly there is great room for an opportunity for growth and to improve the inclusion of women in the economy.
So what is it that you think corporate South Africa needs to be doing more of to get that balance much better than 11%?
Yeah. Look, I think we need to look at it at multiple levels. So I've already mentioned at a global level to really try to get what are some of the insights, the data and the research in terms of how other organizations are progressing. At a national level, we need to look at who's championing the cause of women. So a lot of leadership development programs for women need to be supported and endorsed by men as well. So we cannot have the conversation on the advancement of women just with women. It needs to be far more inclusive. And then the third one I would look at is that looking at women in entrepreneurship, we cannot limit the conversation to just women in corporates, but really at a funding level, at a support level, we know that entrepreneurship is the cornerstone for our country's economy. So how are we funding and how are we supporting and enabling female entrepreneurs is the question we should be asking.
And what about women themselves? What do they need to do to empower themselves, empower themselves with the right skills, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah. So there are exceptional programs out there. And part of the things is to make sure that women do their research, but also to support the existing businesses, that a lot of work that needs to be done is not work that needs to be started from the ground up, is to say as women, what programs, what networks, what mentorship opportunities exist for women to build and to grow collectively. That's the one. The second part is about also creating the opportunities. Empowerment is not something that's going to be given, but it's about women stepping up to the opportunities that exist, because we've got great research that shows that when women are appointed in leadership positions, they do incredibly well, particularly those that surround themselves with great mentors and coaches. So it's about making sure that they get the right skill set in industries that women typically are underrepresented. So that will be typically in STEM and in technology.
So you could be anywhere in the world. You could be here in Johannesburg, but as I mentioned, you're in Paris, and this is your passion, the area of empowerment of women. Why are you in Paris? What's the conference that you're attending about?
Okay, so we, in celebration of International Women's Day, we brought together, the conference brings together women from various organizations across the globe to really celebrate the success and the impact made by women leadership. The second part is to really, from us as an African nation, to contribute towards the conversation, to share insights and to grow collectively as women, and to bring back some of the research globally in terms of trends and success stories of other women. So that's what the conference is about. But the core of it is that is to look at the progress made in terms of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which were established in 2016. It's to look at what progress has been made, what more can be done to make sure that we can achieve the goals that are set for 2030.
Well, all the very, very best with that, Marie. Thank you very much for your time and insights. Marie Sebueng, she's the CEO of IAMS Power Consulting.